Today, we're going to dig into something pretty incredible. We're unlocking a powerful framework for innovation that comes from a totally unexpected place, a battle fought almost 1,400 years ago. We're going to see how an ancient strategy for survival is, believe it or not, a blueprint for modern-day disruption. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What can a 7th century battle really teach a 21st century CEO? It's a fair question, but the answer could completely redefine how you find your next big, game-changing idea. This isn't just a history lesson. It's a timeless case study in leadership, trust, and the incredible power of the outsider. Okay, so picture this, the Battle of Badr. On one side, you've got the established power, the Meccan army. They have way more soldiers, a powerful cavalry. Basically, they've got market dominance. And on the other side, a small, scrappy, outnumbered force. You could literally call them a disruptive startup with everything to lose. They were outmatched in every single way except one. That one advantage came from a man named Salman al-Farisi. And let me tell you, he was the ultimate outsider. He was an Arab, he wasn't from a powerful family, he was a young Persian man, a former slave. In today's world, he'd be the newest hire in the satellite office, the intern from a state school, the quiet voice in the room that nobody usually listens to. So Salman steps forward with an idea from back home in Persia, something completely unheard of in Arabian warfare. He says, let's dig a trench. So simple, right? So low tech, but it was absolutely brilliant. It completely neutralized the Meccan army's single biggest advantage, its charging cavalry. In one move, he leveled the entire playing field. And here is the absolute linchpin of the whole story. The leader of the group, Prophet Muhammad, and in the Islamic tradition, it's customary to say peace be upon him after his name, he didn't dismiss the idea. He didn't care that it came from an outsider. He listened. He saw the genius in it. He adopted it. And then, this is huge, he publicly gave credit to Salman. That one act of leadership changed everything. So how do we take this amazing story and make it work for us right now in the boardroom? Well, we've broken it down into 4 key takeaways. The power of the outsider's idea, the strategy of sourcing from the edge, the necessity of building a trust circle, and finally, the leader's final question. 4 core principles. That's it. And these aren't just concepts to think about. No, these are practical, actionable strategies you can literally start putting into practice in your own organization, like tomorrow. Okay, first up, sourcing from the edge. This is a total mindset shift. It's about stop seeing the fringes of your organization as just, out there, and start treating them like your most valuable untapped R&D department. So who are these people on the edge? We call them your Salman circles. Think about it. It's your newest hire who hasn't learned how we do things here yet. It's your smallest branch office that's seeing a totally different market. It's your junior intern who isn't afraid to ask why. Or maybe it's your offshore supplier who sees your blind spot. So here's a challenge for you. Launch a super simple 48-hour sprint for these circles. Ask them one question. If you were CEO for a day, what's the one thing you'd change? And here's the kicker. You take the top 5 ideas and publish them word for word, no editing, and then you commit to implementing at least one of them. That sends a message loud and clear. We are listening. But look, doing this once is just a gimmick, a fun little exercise. The real power comes when you make this part of your company's DNA. You have to institutionalize it. How? You could run quarterly Naqsh-i-Salman, which means imprint of Salman, hackathons, and you mandate that every team has to be co-led by someone from outside the usual headquarters bubble. Then, when a great idea wins, you give real credit. You tag the winner's name right in the code, right in the project files. You make their contribution permanent and a real part of their career. Now, you can have the best processes in the world, but if the culture isn't right, none of it matters. That brings us to our second big idea, building a trust circle. This is all about the culture that makes innovation even possible. And a huge piece of culture is what you measure. So many companies are chasing what we call vanity metrics. This model, it flips that on its head. We're talking about Badr Metrics, metrics that actually track the diversity of your ideas. It's a fundamental shift. Just look at this. This is what a typical project dashboard reveals, right? 95% of the input comes from these same 5 people in leadership. A Badr metric shines a huge spotlight on that echo chamber, and you can't ignore it. So here's the fix. It's so simple, but it's so powerful. Add one line to every single project dashboard you have. It just tracks the percentage of ideas that came from outside the main leadership group. If that number is sitting at 0, you've got a problem. The project gets flagged. It forces your teams to go out and listen. But let's get real for a second. A dashboard won't fix a broken culture. The only reason Salman, a former slave, felt he could speak up to the most powerful person in his community was because the psychological safety was already there. Trust isn't something you build during a crisis. It's the foundation you lay every single day before it hits. Want a way to build that trust, like overnight? Try this at your next leadership offsite. Call it a reverse mentor hour. The most junior person in the room gets 1 hour to teach the entire C-suite a skill they have. The rules are strict. No execs can pull rank and absolutely no jokes at the teacher's expense. I'm telling you, it demolishes hierarchy and builds humility faster than anything else. And that all leads us to the final and maybe the most important piece of this puzzle, the leader's role. It's about finding this incredible balance between ancient humility and modern audacity. Think about this quote for a second. The prophet, the leader, said, "I am only the son of a woman who ate dried meat." Now, this wasn't false modesty. It was a radical statement that said, "I'm one of you. My background is simple." It was a way of leveling the playing field so that the best idea could win, no matter who it came from. And that's the heart of it, right there. This is the real lesson from Badr for the modern boardroom. True leadership is this amazing paradox. It's having the humility to listen to absolutely anyone, and at the same time, having the audacity to bet the entire future of your company on an outsider's idea. So I'll leave you with this one question. The companies that are going to win in the future, they're not the ones with the most money. They're the ones who master this, the ones who see every different background and every new perspective as a potential game changer. So the question for every single one of us is simple. Whose Salman is in your organization right now, and have you made it safe enough for them to speak?